With the arrival of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, I thought now would be a great time to take a look back to 2015 and in it, the release of the very first Ant-Man. But before I get into what I think of this movie, I want to hear what you think. So pause the video, jump down below in the comments and let me know. That'll all be great to hear, and let me know where you rank it amongst the vast amounts of MCU films and shows that we now have. Ant-Man released shortly after Avengers Age of Ultron and offered a great escape from the large-scale and very crowded Avengers sequel. The movie follows Scott Lang, who must embrace his inner hero and help Dr. Hank Pym protect the secret behind his spectacular Ant-Man technology from a new generation of towering threats. Easily, I think the best place to begin with this movie is what I consider the highlights of the film, and that is the casting of Paul Rudd, which I absolutely, like many, love. Rudd brings his insanely beautiful young looks that he's somehow kept untouched over the past 30 years and combines it with charm, charisma and a great sense of line delivery to suit all the situations he's chucked into throughout the film. Aside from RDJ as Iron Man and a select few others, I think a lot of us will agree that Rudd is probably one of the best casted heroes in the MCU as a whole. Now, where this movie's strengths continue past Rudd is through the supporting cast. Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly add a great level of depth to this movie, especially with the backstory about their life and the disappearance of Hope's mum, and just how protective Hank is over his daughter because of what happened in the past. Then we have Michael Pena, who brings the side humour in the most genius use of blatant exposition the MCU has ever implemented. The talent in front of the camera are all great within their respective roles, even including a little cameo we get from Anthony Mackie's Falcon. But that isn't all, because someone who doesn't get enough credit for their performance in this movie, and I would say in the MCU as a whole, is someone I kinda want to give their own little section to, and that is Corey Stoll as Yellowjacket or Darren Cross. I understand a lot of the comparisons to Ironmonger or Lex Luthor, etc. that people have thrown at him over the years, but I really enjoyed the character and the performance that was on screen here, and it's one of the reasons I'm quite excited for Quantumania. I'm very excited to see what he's going to be like as MODOK. As for the story at hand here, it's compact, it's condensed, and simple to follow that doesn't require much breakdown or tearing apart. It's simple, and admittedly it's fine in its serviceability. We know exactly what we're watching, who is bad, who is good, what someone is doing this for, and what drives them to do that. The film uses what it has to make it as fun as it overall can be. It never tries to be anything more than this heist thriller within the MCU confines, which is something, in my opinion, the sequel does try and be bigger than, and fails drastically in doing so. Outside its smaller scaled story, Ant-Man's action and humour are equally as great as each other. The humour hits far more than it misses, and the action is fun and engages not only the audience, but the world around it, as we see primarily executed and done greatly in the film's final act atop a Thomas the Tank Engine playset. A slight thing worth mentioning, but not an entire negative, this movie feels very Edgar Wright-esque, and I'm sure that's to do with the fact he was originally going to direct this film, and they definitely kept a lot of his elements and flavour in it as they moved past the development hell and picked up Peyton Reed to direct. I think he did a nice job at keeping those elements and mixing it into the MCU. Aside from that, I don't really have any major qualms with this movie, because the more I've rewatched it over the years, the more fun I have with it, and those issues that I may have had at one point just sort of fade away into the background and don't stick out nearly as much as they do in a lot of these types of movies, especially within the MCU. To me, Ant-Man is not only a great origin story for the MCU, a great Ant-Man movie, it's just a great movie overall, and I love going back to revisit it, and I'm very happy Quantumania is releasing, and it's given me the perfect opportunity to do that. But that is just my real quick condensed thoughts on the first Ant-Man film. Again, I want to hear what you think of the movie, and do you have any problems with it? Maybe they do stick out to you a lot more than they do for me. Drop them down below, engage in the conversation. It'll be great to hear. How excited are you for Quantumania? Because as we get closer and closer, my hype builds and builds and builds. I'm really hoping it doesn't disappoint like Ant-Man and the Wasp does, but we'll get into that movie at another point in the future, I'm sure. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this real quick review of Ant-Man 2015. I hope you did enjoy, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll hopefully see you in my next one. Take it easy, guys. Bye.